It's Thursday now, and I had planned to get up and go to the workshop super early, but I woke up with a migraine, so it's now lunchtime, actually after lunchtime, and I just got a phone call saying that my sanding belts are ready for the stroke sander, and I'm not leaving here without using my new toy. So I'm gonna get them and play with the stroke sander for a bit. Alright, there we go, we got some belts. So I was a bit impatient and I just jumped straight into it. And man, this thing is so quick. So this is the big jar table, and the bottom is already sanded all the way up to 80 grit. A few things I've learned already. Dust. Dust is not as bad as I thought it would be, but it does put a lot up in the air. So what I've got is this big fan here, which goes straight outside. That thing has to be on while I'm running it. So I did a little bit of sanding, looked around, not happy, let the dust settle for a bit, and then started again, but with that fan running and nothing. So that gets all that fine dust that it throws. I think I've got a little bit of tuning to do with the pad just to get it, to make sure that it is even. Other than those two things, I'm really happy. I've only got 80 grit belt, but already what I can see is essentially the wide drum sander, this machine right here, is what killed the stroke sander. That's why they went out of favor, because these things could do what that did and faster. But what I can see happening in my workshop is I use the stroke sander with lower grits, so 60 and 80 grit, and then the sander here, or San Francisco here, will do all of the fine sanding. So have this equipped with a 120 and 180 grit belt. So I said that the wide drum sander, wherever that is, right there, is what killed the stroke sander. So why did I get the stroke sander then? Well, unlike a wide drum sander, you can still put material on it that is wider than its capacity, because obviously if you can do 900 millimeters depth on this with the sliding table, well, you just have a little bit of overhang. So you just keep adjusting the workpiece until you've finished the entire piece. With a wide drum sander like that, you can't do that, you're set. So I've got 900 millimeters capacity there, and that's it. Whereas this, in theory, as long as I have lots of support, I could do anything 3 meters long by whatever width, as long as I have support. So you can see I've sanded the front edge, but over the back, I haven't been able to hit it just yet because of the depth. So what I'm gonna do is just rotate this slab 180 and continue sanding. Perfectly sanded with no high spots. This machine is worth every penny I paid. I would happily spend twice, if not 3 times the amount I paid for this machine, if it meant I was getting a good one. Alright, so that's the actual pattern sanding. So that's how you sand with its intended use. But a few other things you can do with this machine. Lift up the lid, and you've got yourself a 3 meter long edge sander. A lot of people make handheld pads, so they kind of do away with this arm and they get to do contour. You can actually kind of bend the belt around the edges and actually do contour sanding. And a whole lot of other things which I haven't even thought about yet, which people have been doing for years. Like I said, incredibly happy with that purchase. Anyway guys, I'm just gonna do a little bit of shameless self-promotion right now, so if you're not interested, maybe click away. Now the first thing I wanna do is just thank each and every one of you guys that have come on board over the years as a JordsWoodShop subscriber. Without you guys, None of this would have ever happened. I wouldn't have had the drive or the passion to keep going when times got hard and things like that. So I have to thank every single one of you guys that watch this show, because it's you guys that make me keep on going. Now that said, obviously running a workshop this size is pretty expensive, so I do look for a little bit of extra help every now and again from people to kind of group fund this as a project. So JordsWoodShop as a YouTube channel is very much a group effort. It is you guys, the subscribers, the people that see the advertising and all of that, that generate a little bit of revenue every month that makes this possible. But there is also other ways that really help out the show. All those people that go onto my website, JordsWoodShop.com, and buy merchandise. I've recently just added t-shirts, caps, and also a few other merchandisey items in the store. So if you are interested in maybe buying a t-shirt with my logo on it, you get a brand new shirt out of the deal, and I get about $5 or $6 directly into helping this show grow. So if you want to do that, head over to JordsWoodShop.com. On top of the t-shirts and things like that, you can also buy a set of plans on the same website. Now, perhaps the biggest way of supporting me is by becoming a patron. Now, behind me is a list of just some of my patrons which are supporting the show. These guys are pledging a certain dollar amount every month to me for doing what I do here on YouTube. Now, it may not sound like a lot, pledging $4 a month, but it all adds up, and that really does make paying for this workshop a whole lot easier. I'm paying $2 grand a month in rent here, and believe it or not, YouTube revenue does not make $2 grand a month. If you really like what I do here on YouTube and you think you can spare $1, $5, $10 a month, I encourage you to head over to patreon.com/JordsWoodShop and check it all out. While we are talking about our patrons, I do need to thank our newest patrons. We have Peter Visiston, who is actually an existing patron, but he upped his pledge, so thank you to Peter. Jerry Paul, he's just come on board in the last week or so, as well as Robert Robinson. On top of those guys, we've also had Todd Bailey, Rory Morris, Malcolm Lewis, and Michael Spain come on board in this month. So thank you to all you guys that have come on board and all my existing patrons. You guys really are making this dream a reality, and I cannot thank you guys enough. If it's something you guys are interested in, head over to patreon.com and check it out. But don't worry, these videos are always going to be free, and I'm never going to be charging for this content. Now, I realize that a lot of people don't like it when people talk about self-promotion. I do try and keep it to a minimum, but you know, once a month you're going to see this sort of stuff. So I apologize, hit that thumbs down button if you want to, but this stuff is always free. It's just me saying that you can support me in a few different ways. Anyway guys, I've got to go and pack a bag before I catch my flight to Queensland. And I haven't even started thinking about it, so I'm going to go and do that. Now, if you don't know, I'm about to fly off to Queensland for 4 weeks to do another stint of my theatre shows. But don't worry, this time I've actually got a backlog of videos which I've been working on all month so I can keep my uploads coming. So there is going to be at least 2, if not 3 woodworking videos a week, plus any travel vlogs that I can come up with while I'm on the road. So the upload schedule, it's not going to be quite daily, but there's still 3, hopefully 4 videos every week while I'm away. Woodworking, travel, bit of everything, but hey, bit sad to be locking the door to this place for another month, but the good news is, once I'm back, that's it until March next year. So there's going to be a lot of work ahead of me. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you once I'm in Queensland.